Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Wanted to let everybody know that on Tuesday, February 18th in San Jose, California, Link2 is doing a Link2 AI Innovation Conference. And there's going to be some interesting people there. I've got a link to this in the very top of the description of this video. And you can go and get tickets for, they're $50 until January 31st, and then it goes up to $100. You'll be able to attend virtually for free, but it's going to be on February 18th at Link2's headquarters in San Jose, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm sure I will be tired at 6 p.m. because that's 9 p.m. my time, but it's part of it. Let's look. Check this out. This is the Link2 page for it. Look who's going to be there. Robin O'Connell, from the CEO of Enterprise at Uphold. Tim Draper is going to be there. I've never gotten to meet him in person. I did see him in person. I saw him doing interviews when I was at Bitcoin Miami. Brad Combs walked over and introduced himself, but I did not. I hung back. Brad Combs is going to be there with me. We will be at this event. And there's Joe Endoso, president of Link2. There's all kinds of guys. There's Bill Saris, who's the co-founder and CEO of Link2. He'll be there. And then all kinds of guys from companies, I guess AI companies, as well as investment firms. This will be a killer conference for investors who want to hear more about what's coming. Check this out from John Deaton. We've got both John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan are predicting that the Ripple case will be dropped in some form or fashion, whether it's dismissed or settled. John says Ripple didn't this is Brad Garlinghouse. Ripple didn't prioritize going public because they really didn't make any sense under the previous SEC administration. Maybe that changes in the future. After already stating that I believe we see a Ripple IPO either in the last quarter of 2025 or first quarter of 2026, the timing depends on how aggressive Paul Atkins is chairman. I predict the appeal gets withdrawn, Ripple pays the fine, and the case is over. If Atkins is confirmed quickly, this could happen in the first quarter, but because Washington moves slowly, it will likely happen in the second quarter. Why the appeal will be withdrawn? It makes no sense for the SEC to appeal the Ripple decision. Appealing can only bring bad news for the SEC as an institution. The only reason the SEC appealed is because people pushing for appeal, Gensler and his minion Tenrero, got their prima donna feelings hurt by getting their butts kicked by Ripple and 75,000 XRP holders. The appeal makes no sense for several reasons. One, Torres' decision is a federal district court ruling and not binding precedent. Two, Ripple ruling has very low persuasive precedent implications. In fact, Judge Rakoff, a fellow district judge in the same district, has already distinguished and criticized it. Several legal scholars and other intelligence securities lawyers have criticized it. Even experienced financial journalists like Gasparino have criticized the decision. Three, Judge Torres made her ruling very fact-specific and thus only applicable to the facts of the Ripple case. Therefore, the decision itself has very limited persuasive use. Moreover, in her decision denying an interlocutory appeal, Judge Torres made it clear that her decision did not rule that all secondary market sales of digital assets could never constitute the sale of securities. I'm going to get past this, but you need to go read the whole thing. Hence, my point, appealing the Ripple ruling is a fool's errand, and I think Paul Atkins will see it that way. Now you also see why I called those unelected bureaucrats prima donnas. And then Jeremy Hogan also weighed in. I'm getting a lot of questions about the January 15th SEC filing deadline and the Ripple versus SEC appeal. Don't be surprised when the SEC's brief is filed timely, and don't be dismayed. This is still Gensler's SEC. The filing on January 15th has no effect on whether the case will be settled. I think likely or dismissed by the new administration. An attorney is working hard on this brief as we speak, knowing that all his effort is probably for naught, a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Perhaps a fitting end to the war on crypto. I love it. Here's what the market looks like this morning. 3.55 trillion. It's inching up in money coming, new money coming in. XRP's up. It's been holding strong right here around 242-ish, which is good. Now, the video from yesterday, I'm not going to play it again, but the video from yesterday, not once but twice in Brad Garlinghouse's interview. First, Brad Garlinghouse hinted at an XRP strategic reserve and said it won't just be Bitcoin. But then the interviewer, who's an investment banker type, also hinted at the same thing, almost as if they had talked about it before the camera turned on. So I said, that's got 450,000 views. So I showed the photo in Brad Garlinghouse's house. Laugh now, but one day XRP will power the world. It's that's a Banksy print, is my understanding. And then here's Senator Bill Hagerty, and I told him, I said, all he's talking about here is that how he agrees we need a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I said, you're getting warmer, Senator Hagerty. If you want real national security, that digital asset strategic reserve won't just hold Bitcoin, but also the digital assets that are going to power the world heading into the next 100 years. XRP, XLM, HBAR, Ethereum, and Cardano, to name a few. There are others. And then I put this out because I went to Grok and I said, what assets does the United States currently hold as a part of its strategic reserve? Well, they hold petrol. I wanted to show you this because the point is they don't just hold gold, which Bitcoin is claiming to, the Bitcoin guys are claiming is Bitcoin's going to replace, which it's not going to replace. The smart thing to do would be to hold gold and Bitcoin, but not just Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin has no utility. Bitcoin is, you're not going to tokenize all the real world assets in the world on Bitcoin. You're going to need other digital asset technologies, just like Brad Garlinghouse said. They are not, I repeat, not going to just make a Bitcoin digital asset reserve and leave it at that. Donald Trump is not a moron. If you've learned anything, you've learned this guy's not stupid. They will include other digital, they're going to have a basket, which brings us to this part right here, which I find interesting because we've talked about the SDRs and the IMF a lot in our coverage of Ripple and XRP over the last 6 years. Foreign currencies, the U.S. Reserve assets include holdings of foreign currencies by the Treasury and the Federal Reserve System. These assets are reported at amortized cost, revalued at current foreign currency market exchange rates. They include allocations of special drawing rights in an international monetary fund and reserve positions in the IMF. They've got Bitcoin proposed. They hold gold. They hold petroleum. I've always thought of XRP. Remember when I told you, true story, I was told a long time ago, and I can't say by who, I was told a long time ago that XRP was created to prevent World War III and to replace the petrodollar. When you think petrodollar, think oil. You better believe they're going to include XRP and others in some sort of a strategic reserve basket because they would be stupid not to. Are NDAs about to go bye-bye, the Ripple NDAs?
Another one you like is Ripple. You said it is the coin to be looking at right now.
Absolutely.
Why?
Okay, so
XRP.
Ripple actually was the second largest coin prior to the SEC's investigation of them. They did this really weird lawsuit against them, and basically the Ripple's going to be the track that everything's going to be running on in the future. So they created their own stable coin right now.
Okay.
And Bank of America, like I said, they were doing 100% of their internal transactions. They've got 83 different patents on it, and there's some incredible stuff that's going to be coming out. So
these cynics, though, tell me, only put as
Let's
much
listen to that again.
100% of their internal transactions now.
Okay.
And Bank of America, so they created their own stable coin right now.
Okay.
And Bank of America, like I said, they were doing 100% of their internal transactions. They've got 80.
They were doing Bank of America was doing 100% of their internal transactions. How does this guy know? Has an NDA just been Is there an NDA over with Bank of America is my first question, because we've known for a long time, or we've heard hints left and right about Bank of America and Ripple.
3 different patents on it, and there's some incredible stuff that's going to be coming out. So
remember the Bank of America patents that were discovered in the XRP community way back when, years ago?
These cynics, though, tell me, only put as much in this space as you're willing to lose. Effectively, as of now, some people say it feels like a casino.
They won't be saying that soon.
Do you agree with that?
It's the best example I have is this. Don't not get involved with something. Do whatever you would do for a nice weekend away with your spouse.
Okay.
And instead of doing that weekend, maybe put that in crypto. Here's what I'll tell you, 3 to 5 years from now, you either made some real money or you just lost one weekend together. Not a big deal.
I know, but I could have had that vacation.
You could have had the vacation or you made your retirement.
Well said.
All right. The writing's on the wall. This is an interesting tweet from Chad Steingraber back August 18th, 2022. 14, XRP will become a reserve currency asset. Remember, from Ripple Banks holding XRP, that's the holy grail. Remember, XRP can issue any other type of asset. CBDCs can be issued. That means Bank of America will create Bank of America coin on the XRPL. Makes you think, doesn't it? And here was my question. When I saw the video of Brad Garlinghouse and that guy interviewing him, hinting twice at an XRP strategic reserve, the first thing that popped in my head, I was talking to somebody on the phone, and this is the question that came up. Remember when Jed McCaleb, not only was he a founder of Ripple and should have been in the SEC lawsuit, but remember when Jed McCaleb not only was not sued like Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, he was left alone and he was allowed to continue to sell his XRP into the market during the SEC lawsuit. My question is, who or what government did Jed McCaleb sell all that XRP to? Was it the Federal Reserve, the Treasury? Was this the plan the SEC lawsuit dropped, value of XRP goes down 66%. Then whoever was buying all of this gets to buy it at a huge discount. Was that part of the plan? How much XRP did Jed McCaleb have, and how did he sell it? How and when did he sell it? He originally held 9 billion XRP. He was selling that 9 billion to someone over all of these years. Let's get it. In 2020, so 2020, this is during the lawsuit, he sold 1.2 billion XRP. By the beginning of 2021, he was still holding 4.7 billion. He unloaded all of that during the lawsuit, and I really would like to know who he sold it to. Somebody scooped it up awfully cheap, didn't they? Latest, Federal Reserve Michael Barr is set to resign as vice chairman for supervision. Some crypto industry executives have viewed Barr as the key reason why many U.S. banks have been hesitant to offer services at crypto firms, as he once said the Federal Reserve would likely view it as unsafe and unsound for banks to directly own crypto assets on their balance sheets. Bye-bye, Michael. And I love this wanted poster, Operation Choke Point 2.0, and they are talking about doing an investigation of who was behind this, by the way. Meta Lawman and John Deaton have been calling for it. John Deaton even volunteered to be the guy that would run it. Elizabeth Warren is the head honcho of this mafia. Sherrod Brown's out. This guy's out. Michael Gibson, we're still waiting for him to be kicked out. Gensler's gone. Michael Barr's gone. Nellie Lake? We're still waiting on her to go. Martin Grunberg has resigned. There are no coincidences, folks. And then here, well, I'm not going to play this. This is a hearing where the Congress was trying to hold Michael Barr accountable. But as all these people do, he's going to slither out of there. Look at this. Look who's attending the Digital Asset Summit in 2025. It's in New York City on March 18th through 20th. There's Brad Garlinghouse. Oh, look, our old buddy Mike Novogratz is going to be there. You're also going to, I always wonder how awkward it is for Brad Garlinghouse to be in the room with these. This is the guy that was bashing Ripple and XRP not too long ago. Kyle Samani's the guy that announced that he was shorting XRP, and his limited partners, Andreessen Horowitz and Union Square Ventures, just happened to be in the room when the Ethereum free pass was being negotiated. And then he came out and started bragging about shorting XRP. You have to wonder if his limited partners talked to him at all about what went on in those meetings. But there's all kinds of people at these conferences that have been part of the Ripple XRP hatred for all these years. I always wonder how awkward it is when Mike Novogratz and Brad Garlinghouse are standing there. But Mike Novogratz doesn't have, that guy, integrity is a foreign concept to a guy like that, so it probably doesn't bother him at all to be in the room with Brad Garlinghouse. Now, in DAIXRP.com, there's a lot of interesting charts that are popping up now, but we're also going to talk about, there was one done by a guy who hates Ripple and XRP, and not only was he talking about how bullish it could be, he was talking about how it could jump, he was talking about a scenario where XRP would jump Ethereum. This is a guy that hates Ripple and XRP, okay? But then there's an analysis that was done on what that would exactly mean, and I'm going to show you all that, and it's pretty interesting. We're going to go into DAIXRP.com now. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.